Well, thank you so much for watching the film. And if you have any questions or anything you'd like to discuss with us, Sam Sitar is standing by to read them and let us know. So that would be wonderful. We were just going to start off by just talking a little bit about what it was like going out there.
Yeah, I would like to talk a little bit about how we engage these people and just how we were able to get them to relax and really talk about what's really bothering them and what the city and what the services should do. And if you look at me right now, I probably don't look that hot wearing a mask. And if I walked up to you and said, tried to engage you and look you in the eye and having a mask, I'd have to work pretty hard to try to get your trust. And so we filmed every weekend right up to the last day when they announced COVID and the first semi-lockdown. And we looked at each other and said, wow, you know, what do we do now? But each weekend we would meet and get in my car and we'd cruise around, and we had no setup interviews. We knew that Anaheim Street was probably the worst street in Long Beach, and so there wasn't a shortage of people to try to get them to tell the story. And but we would shoot and talk, and then we'd get back in the car and we'd all be shaking our head and saying, my God, is this for real? I mean, is this America? You know, is this what living in a democracy is like? And you know, so it was no problem getting together the next weekend and giving it another shot. And we could have made this a lot longer film, but we want it to be seen, and we want, you know, hopefully there's some people out there that saw it tonight that could give us some ideas, or maybe say, you might consider doing this.
And David,
we're at that point.
You mentioned something that I want to touch on. This was amazing that you really opened my eyes to. Was so from where we're sitting right now in my wonderful parents' backyard, we're what, a 5-minute walk from Anaheim Street, 10-minute walk from Anaheim Street. So I think one thing that's really amazing about this documentary is I'm a filmmaker, film guy. I always wanted to make documentaries, and I imagined myself flying the other side of the world to make, you know, movies about the, you know, military or something. But, you know, you open my eyes to appreciating, you know, the realities of just outside my own door. And really, so as you're just talking about going out and having these experiences and getting back into the car, you know, it was like when we drove up and saw them taking down the encampment. We were supposed to go there. You had met somebody we were supposed to talk to. I just happened to be rolling, and actually I captured the whole ways up when they were, you know, throwing everything away, and then the cops when they're talking to us. I got some great shots of them standing with us with their hands on their guns, so that was interesting. But anyways, that was a crazy thing about it. Oh yeah. Anyways, that was the crazy thing about filming this, is that just right down the street was all this craziness, which all just still brings me to one interesting point. Is what you originally said to me is you wanted to go the entirety of Anaheim Street, and I thought that was such a great idea of just kind of doing your, you know, you just doing your wonderful thing, and down this one street and kind of making that the piece. And then that was kind of the really loose idea that everything fell into, you know, from there. Yeah.
And you know, we wanted to do something that was genuine, something that would open a lot of people's eyes. And if Grant and a 79-year-old dude coming out of retirement could put together something that's as meaningful as what we've captured, I hope other people kind of look at what we did and make it better, make it expanded, and because our city officials that are making these decisions that totally destroy the dignity of these people living on the street has to be on them all the time, because they're all afraid of losing their jobs, and they do what management tells them to do, not what they really want to do in their heart. And they hide behind the badge, and hopefully this, by doing more films like this, it'll convince the people that are making these decisions to do the right thing, you know. And one thing that's not mentioned enough in the film, and I recognize that, but for the last 4 years, I've been an advocate for housing, and it's clearly the biggest problem that we have, and the only solution. There's not enough affordable, permanent housing for all of these people.
Any questions?
Yeah, George White asks, any idea how people on Anaheim are doing with COVID?
Well, unfortunately, with COVID and being, at that age, I maybe go out with my camera. I shoot from the car a lot. I very rarely engage in any other people, but I see them, and I just have to thank God, okay? And I'm not a religious man, but I have to thank God for not destroying those people that are living in the pandemic. I think it's been pretty good, and but they're outside. They wear masks better than most of the people that live around us here in East Long Beach, and so far so good, I'd say.
Lori Pendergraft asks, what inspired you to make this film?
For me or for either of us?
Not for either of you.
For either of us, it was David, because I was a big fan of his photography online, and I've been making films forever, and I do it professionally and have for many years. And at some points it's really difficult to make projects for things that aren't, anyways. I love making films, but David's out there. He's fighting the fight, posting these pictures, and just opening my eyes to seeing that I am somebody, the message that these people are somebody. And that's so simple, but it's so easy to think that they're not somebody, because humans are not smart. At least I'm not smart. I think it's so easy to just push them out of your mind. And seeing what David did, and there's some people that didn't make it into the movie, but it was like, a guy who was like passed out and his head was in the gutter, and you went up to him and you talked to him, you told him he was pretty, he said he was the son of some baseball player. But anyways, by the time we left, you told him the referrals to go to, how to get off the streets, really encouraged him. There was a twinkle in his eye of humanity that wasn't there before, and you taught me that every interaction you have with somebody who is experiencing homelessness is either going to help or hinder them on their path. And they are somebody, and the more you treat them like they're not somebody, the longer they're going to be there, and the more likely they are going to die. So what I learned from you is that I am somebody, they are somebody, everybody's somebody, and that's such a strong message. And just the fact that they are people too that you can approach and talk to, and you taught me that, and now I can do that without you. So you did teach, so I hope to continue to that, and thank you. So anyways, that's what inspired me, is this guy here.
Right.
Will you go back after COVID restrictions are lifted to see how they are doing?
Well, I've been doing this for 4 years now. I photographed everywhere from Hawaii to Skid Row, and it's something about taking and capturing images that doesn't go away. No matter what, you're going to stop and take pictures. So I think I'll be doing it more. As long as I can still carry my camera and But one thing I just like to mention about how we did this was we wanted to have a team of, actually we invited 7 people to join us, and you know, we all had doubts about our abilities, and you know, we wanted to really make it work. So I have several videographers in Orange County that I work with, and everybody turned us down. And so the 3 of us, so then we recruited Willie.
Willie.
And
yeah.
Willie was a great addition, because Willie was 9.5 years homeless on Anaheim Street.
And I gotta say, Willie, unfortunately, he did not make it into the final cut as much as he made a contribution into the movie.
Oh.
I would honestly say, unfortunately, you know, just kind of how it went, because he was great. And maybe he's in it a lot. I don't know, but just to say, man, he was such a huge part of this movie, of course, as well. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And he's a good guy. He's doing pretty well. He got a home through one of the charities that we both spend a lot of time at, the Urban Community Outreach, and he's a year and a half in Section 8 housing, and I still see him, I still help him a little bit, and he's just a wonderful guy. So
very true, very inspiring guy.
Ema asks, how long was the filming period?
How long was the filming period? It was, you know, what do you think? Like probably about 3 months.
4 months.
4 months. 4 months. 4 months. I think I was being under. Yeah. Every Sunday we would go out.
Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday, Sunday at the same time of day, because David, you know, is the master photographer, wanted the same lighting and kind of that. So it had kind of the sun hanging in the background of a lot of it, or like a dusk was how we shot it.
Yeah.
Robin Archer says, how can we help homeless individuals we meet on the street or near our homes?
Hi, Robin. This guy's the right guy to answer that.
I think that the thing that you don't want to do is to walk on by. You should have eye contact, even with a mask. You should always have a mask, and smile, and ask him what his name is, and tell him your name. And you don't have to do all that, but the most important part is to just make contact, and so they know that they're a real person, and that goes a long way.
And if you're looking to make donations, I recommend Brown work with people experiencing homelessness.
Yeah.
Filmmaking question from Dambo Jaws. Did you always picture that music for the movie? How did you decide on it? I'll never hear Que Sera the same way again.
Oh, well, I think what really helped me with that is when Eddie, that's the guy who's sang, he really, I guess it was just great classic. It just came to me, honestly. It was kind of a cool process. I really didn't know, but I wanted it to be good, which sounds silly, and I just thought a lot about it and looked at it a lot, and I just kept, it's really, what was fun thing about filmmaking and music is trying to convey my emotions, like, in this film, and there's kind of this, like, lost American dream, almost not like the falsities of the American dream, where it falls short for a lot of those who aren't fortunate enough in a lot of ways, so I liked a lot of the music in that way, because it kind of invoked the kind of emotions that I was hoping to get, of kind of weird feelings. Like I thought it was, you know, make you think a little bit different, you know, and then I like fun changing it up. And thanks, I want to say, David Petray, my man, thanks for watching. You're going to get a credit. I've been running around. I'm sorry it's not down there, but your good credit's going to be there. He did the drum solo. He's an awesome guy and a great drummer. And I felt like that was a great airy piece to kind of, but anyways, I put a lot of feeling and a lot of emotion into the music selections, and we're still in the process of getting all the rights, so that's one of the biggest problems now for moving forwards, is just trying to secure the rights to those songs. But I'm glad you liked them, you know, and that guy was a beautiful singer.
Yeah, I like the feel of the movie, but you know, I really didn't realize that a lot of the people that we met and we filmed, most of them were products of the poverty and the raw conditions that they live in, and many of them were previously dancers and backup singers for Snoop Dogg and other hip hop guys that came out of Long Beach. And one of the things I think that Long Beach suffers from are all the people that have done phenomenally well from their roots in this city, that just don't come back and take care of the people and try to make Long Beach a more vibrant, a place where people will stay in school, will be even prouder, because Anaheim Street is an eyesore. And so if Snoop Dogg gets a look at this, we would love to have him leverage this film into kind of reimagining Anaheim Street in Long Beach. His old friends are there, and I'll take him down and introduce him to him.
And
So-
you made me think of a great point, which another thing you said. You said something great when we were filming about. I love Long Beach, and I love that we live here, and I love that we're making this to try to make our city better and to help those who are least fortunate in our city. And one thing you pointed out to me that I saw with my first eyes was, yeah, man, why is Anaheim Street so shitty? But they're putting up like beautiful decorations in other parts of the town. And I know there's a lot to that with maybe like the city council, not the city council, business associations or this or that. But what some of the great people in this film kind of point out is kind of the bigger philosophical questions. And I think, I just think that it's great that somebody's saying it. It's like the world doesn't have to be like this. Why is this, so not that there's an answer to everything, but why are buildings being built that don't need to be built when there's people who are in the streets, So that's just kind of, yeah.
Well, it's a year later now. Last year, I drove the entire length of Anaheim Street and counted the Merry Christmas signs or Happy Holiday signs. And I went all the way to the riverbed, and I counted 5 signs. Now, hey, there wasn't even COVID then, and because the total neglect by our city. And then our city spent $800,000 lighting the Christmas tree at the Terrace Theater. Well, there's no Christmas on Anaheim.
And that's why this guy's great. He's so smart. You're so smart, man. He knows all the stuff.
Yeah.
That brings up a good question about the picture you brought.
Oh.
And if we talk about
I brought, this is, we were told that 2 people that were in the film are no longer alive. The one that we've been able to confirm is Chris, who I've personally been involved with him for quite a long time. And his name on the street, his name when he's in the services is Crying Chris. Because he just, as soon as he sees you, he'll start crawling on the ground. He'll start pawing. He'll cry. He'll come up. He's 6'5", put his arms around you, and he finally, maybe 4 months ago, qualified for a room key. So he got his own hotel room. And they found him dead in the room 2 weeks later. And I've contacted all of the people. I've contacted our police department. I've contacted the room key administrators and homeless services. Everybody. Nobody will tell me his last name. So we've been trying to. We wanted to do a little better memorial to him at the end of the movie, but this is Chris, and I think he's in a much better place, because he was truly suffering from staying on the street. So just wanted to honor him.
I think that's a great example. Not to say, I mean, it's just the reality of it, and
Yeah.
the stakes, and that we're so privileged.
Yeah, I feel privileged to know these people.
Oh yeah, well, so David's working on a great book, but so this link, IamSomebodyTheMovie.com, we're hoping to have it be the film plus the photos and clips and more, because kind of just expanding on the project a bit more and all the wonderful photos
Right.
and interviews that David
And if you
has.
want to help us in any way, we do accept donations, and that would be on the same I Am Somebody, the movie site.
Yes, yes.
And,
So Lauren asks if there are how people can help promote the film.
Hey Lauren, that's such a nice question. That's so exciting now that it's really done. Oh, and thank you for asking that. So what you're watching now is obviously the stream of it. On YouTube is going to be a link to the regular video. And so that's the main one that we're going to have until we get all the rights and we put it on Amazon Prime. So hopefully that for the future at some point. But right now we have it on this YouTube account. And so please. What I did today is, even though it's my project, I felt like it's such a cool message and so eye-opening. I was just emailing and sending to people with a little message, and especially the excuse of it being today as the national, remembering folks who have passed away day. It's nice because it's not personal. I don't know. So I kind of like that about, even if you're trying to send it to a friend who maybe you think could have a little bit more of an insight into their experience, you could just, say something like that. Lauren, thank you. Miss you, Lauren.
yeah, and if you're connected with a charity and you want to have an event where you can use our film to raise money for your charity, and do it just like Sam here's done, online, and get people involved and try to beat the problem with how difficult it is to raise money with the pandemic. So we're open to any things that you might be interested in.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you so much,
I
guys.
got-
I want to finish with my thank yous. Last but most important, I want to say thank you to. Oh wait, well, honestly, yeah, just thank you for everybody who's always believed me. Everybody's so nice to me in my life. I'm a really lucky person, and I wouldn't be here without the support of so many wonderful people, like my mom and dad and my sister and my wonderful fiance Cora. And of course, I want to say thank you to Montevideos, Sam and Koji, who did this live stream. They do a lot of great work, and we'll put their link up too. Thank you to Dixie and Pastor Rob and Adele and everybody, and well, of course,
Yep.
most importantly, this gentleman here. But that's
And I would like to thank my wife Barbara. We've been married 54 years, and also I have 3 grandkids in Chicago that are amazing, and my son in Chicago, his name is Zach. He's a product of Wilson High School and Chadwick. Actually, he went to Chadwick, and then he went to Princeton, and then my other son lives in New York and Brooklyn, and he does this, okay? So I've seen him, do some amazing things in the last 15 years. He's graduated from NYU Film School, and he is basically the man behind Teen Mom and 16 and Pregnant. And in 1997, for his first film, now this is my film, he won the Sundance Film Festival, the first director, writer, first person to win
Wow.
3 awards at Sundance, and he's got a famous name, Morgan Freeman, so makes it easy. But he was very helpful. Unfortunately, we couldn't do everything that he wanted us to do, but we were just blown away that he did spend some time to chart our every minute and a half and make suggestions. So that was cool.
thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay, I got to go because I can't stay out late because of COVID.
Yeah, we did very
Get to
COVID
my
safe
space.
too. Yeah, but anyway, bye. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh,
Thanks,
thank
Sam.
you, David. Yeah, here we got to
Cody.
grab that mic, and then I think we're all set.